Let's see. You could also, if you want to take notes on these, you can take notes on the sheets I gave you, on any other sheets of paper, and if you want to take out your sentence CPR sheets for reference, you can do so. Who can tell me the difference between a run-on sentence and a comma splice? Yes?
Is it like where a comma splice is where you put something to separate two sentences, and a run-on sentence is where you don't put anything at all?
Okay. Who can... Any more information? Yes?
Comma splices have too many commas.
Possibly.
Like they'll use like, you really only need 2 and they'll use like 4 or something.
Okay. Yes?
Comma splices, spelling pronouns are wrong placing.
Possibly. Usually, yes?
Well, these are usually like sentences where it sounds like you need to get a break, but you don't. You just keep on going. You just keep on going. Like the first one after the break, we went for a walk and need to stretch our legs.
Right. So that would be a good example of a run-on sentence. It just keeps going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, and there's no break in between. For the comma splice, it's similar to that, but there is a break. It's just there's nothing following the break, and that's what's necessary. Let's see. Let's think of, there we go. There are 5 ways where we can sort of repair run-on sentences. Who can name one of those 5 ways?
I think it's comma conjunction.
Good. Comma and comma conjunction. Let's see, number 2. Yes.
Semicolon?
Good. Semicolon. Number 3. Colon.
Ooh, you
There.
are good.
You could do a colon. Let's see. What would work better? Period. You can include a colon maybe as a star, but that's on very rare occasions. Number 4. We have a semicolon, a period, and a comma and comma conjunction. Think about what Ms. Dietzen said when we were going over this earlier, where we were bringing up lower than, sub,
Preposition.
not a preposition.
Subordinate.
Good. Subordinate conjunctions. Like and because. Number 5 is probably the most difficult, but when you think about it, it's the easiest. Anybody have any ideas? How would you shorten a run-on sentence?
Summarizing.
You are very close. What's another?
Wait, I can't think of the name.
You can paraphrase it, or simply put, you can cut the fluff. If you have like 3 or 4 sentences as a run-on sentence, you can just try and take out what you don't need. Okay? So let's see if we can get a couple of examples for you all, but let's make it kind of fun. What's going on in pop culture today? What's going on? TV, movies, music. Lady Gaga's album.
There we go. I was right.
Let's see if we can fit Lady Gaga's new album into a comma and comma conjunction. Let's see. Her new album's art pop, right? Okay. Let's say Lady Gaga is coming out with a new album . comma, and it is called art pop. If you'd like to write these down, you can, you may, but these are just examples. What else is going on? TVs, movie, music. Let's raise your hands. Thank you.
That movie Gravity.
Gravity.
Oh.
So how can we fit gravity into a semicolon? I'm just gonna, is anybody actually writing these down? You are? Alright, I'll write underneath. Semicolon. Gravity is a movie about space. Semicolon. It stars Sandra Bullock. Okay, that'd be a good example. Let's try period. What else is going on?
The new Hobbit movies.
The new Hobbit movie. I'll just write it right here. The new Hobbit movie is coming out. Period. It is called, I think it's The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Just
Why?
say, just say the
Star Wars?
Desolation of
Yeah.
Smog, because you know it's
It
one
is
of the
called
parts of the Hobbit.
The Desolation of Smaug. And I don't know how to spell it.
SMOG.
Smoke and fog.
Very bad for you.
Alright, there we go.
No, that's how you spell it.
That's how we spell it? Okay. Now let's try one with a subordinate conjunction. Any other pop culture reference?
Kid crack in there.
Nope.
Keep that. Realize.
Anything else?
Wait.
What's going on in TV and movies and music?
What did the Hunger Games comes out next week?
The Hunger Games. So, let's try and fit that with a subordinate conjunction. I want to go see the Hunger Games.
I do. No. Yes.
Quiet, please. I want to go see the Hunger Games Catching Fire, comma, because I love the book.
Is she with you right now?
Okay, so now that we got a couple of examples, let's go over the sheet that I gave you all.
Oh, sure.
Who can read number 1 for me? Yes.
After the parade, we went for a walk. We went for a walk. We needed to stretch our legs.
Okay. What do you think we can use to try and break up that run-on sentence? Yes.
A comma conjunction.
Okay. How would you repair that?
After we went to the parade, we went for a walk, comma, and because we needed to stretch our legs.
Okay. Is there anything that might work better? Yes. Semicolon. For these, you can pretty much use, number 5 is mainly for really, really long sentences, but you can use the first 4, and on some occasions you could even use a colon. But these top 4, you can use for almost all of these sentences. So you can write down an example of like a correct sentence underneath, but I'll just write one right here if you need another idea. Which one did you mention?
After we went to, comma conjunction.
Okay. So, after the parade, we went for a walk. comma. So, is that what you mentioned? So? So we needed to stretch our legs. Did everybody write down an example underneath the first sentence? Who'd like to do the second sentence? Yes.
We had no electricity, so we had to use our candlelight. I mean, we had to use our candlelight.
Okay. And what would you like to use for this?
A comma and comma conjunction.
Okay. Since we used a comma and comma conjunction here, try and do something different.
A period.
Period. Okay. A period would work perfectly well. Oop, that's not a T. There we go. Who'd like to number 3? Yes.
Many of my friends enjoy eating pizza. I prefer pickled trout.
Okay. What would work best to break that run-on sentence up? Since we did period and comma conjunction, do you think we should use a semicolon or a subordinate conjunction?
Semicolon.
Semicolon? Okay. Remember, it doesn't have to be these exact examples. You can use any of these right here to try and break up those run-on sentences. Who'd like to do number 4? Somebody who, yes.
Jorge
Jorge.
likes to exercise. Tyler just sits on the couch all day.
Okay. What would you want to use to break that up?
Maybe a subordinate conjunction.
And can you give me an example of one that might fit into this sentence?
Maybe while.
Okay. Any other suggestions? While works great. You can do even though Tyler just sits on the couch all day. Would anybody like to volunteer for number 5? Anybody? Yes.
You can use a comma and comma conjunction.
For number 5? Okay. Can you just read the sentence?
She was happy about getting the raise. She felt like celebrating.
And how would you use a comma and comma conjunction in that?
She was happy about getting the raise, comma, she felt like celebrating.
Okay, but that would be a comma splice. So you would need something after the comma. What would you put after the comma?
Oh, I kind of have something else. I did paraphrasing.
Okay. How would you paraphrase it?
She was happy about getting the raise. By take off, she felt like celebrating.
Okay. That could possibly work. But let's go back to the comma splice right here. What word would fit after the comma? Yes. So. We're obviously going to be doing future writing assignments and writes upon request. So it's important that you look at your sentences, and if you have run-on sentences, it's important that you look at your sentence length and your punctuation. And so you obviously want to use these 5.5 to 6 strategies in order to break those run-on sentences up. And you can use any of these in the future to break up your run-on sentences. Are there any questions?